Hi everyone, my name's Stormi the Folf, and this video is hopefully the start of my official StormiTime series. My life has been filled with some interesting adventures, some good, some bad, and some I'll probably never share. For this video, I'm gonna talk about my first time flying. Yeah! For those that don't know, I flew out to TTFC in Tulsa, Oklahoma because I'm tired of driving a bajillion hours for convention trips. Plus, they offered to fly me out there or pay for my transportation fees, and I hope to attend International FurCon someday, so I need a little bit of practice before I just dive straight into going to a furry convention in, say, Australia or something. I figured this would be a good introduction to the process. Okay, so bear in mind, this was my very first time getting on any kind of aerodynamic powered flying vehicle with fixed wings. I think they call them airplanes, but yeah. Not only is it my first time flying, but it's also my first time flying with my entire fursuit! So, woo! I tried my very best to prepare for what was about to unfold. Beforehand, I watched several YouTube vids on the boarding and flying process. I asked several people what I should do when arriving to the plane, what to wear, where to go, what you can and you can't bring, and all the other 9,237,681 rules you need to know before boarding an aircraft, although some scholars say that's a pretty conservative estimate and there's probably more rules than that. So yeah, I tried my absolute best to study everything from the weight size limits for my suitcases to what to expect after the takeoff process. I thought I had everything pretty much nailed. And boy did I fail! To start, I was already a nervous, hecking, anxiety-filled mess, and for the last several days I had no sleep at all because I was just constantly freaking out because it was my first time getting on an airplane. I don't know all the rules, this is all new territory, none of it's second nature to me, and I was just so scared I was gonna screw up and lose my fursuit, and then game over. Why did I write that on the script? And why do I have to be so scared of trying new things? And my fear is kind of justified, at least in my opinion, because Bolt Mutt, another furry YouTuber, lost their stuff while flying too. But they did get it back, so... Anyway, I'm probably blowing a lot of this out of proportion, but you'll have to understand that I am completely new to the whole flying process. I mean, I was. Now I know a little bit about what to expect. But yeah, so we took a cab to the airport since Uber doesn't really work here in my neck of the woods at 2 in the morning. And we arrived 2 hours early because that's what most of my flying friends suggested. It had something to do with security and lines and how long the lines may get and security processing and stuff. We get there and it's like dead, DED. We go to the kiosk computer thingy and get our tickets, suitcase, pass thingamabobs, receipts, blah 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 blah. So this is the part where I get lost and confused. Ding ding, ring-a-ding-a-ding ding. Hello? I need help. Anyone up there? Ding ding ding. And there was no one there. The place was just dead. There was maybe 2 security guards walking around. So I asked Treble, where are we supposed to go? And Treb's like, I don't know. So I have the bright idea to walk upstairs and ask one of the security guards where to go. And they weren't really sure either, so... Also, this was Treble's first time flying too, so it is all the confused noises are coming out tonight. So one thing I did remember was that you're supposed to go through security first after getting the ticket. So I finally found the TSA security checkpoint line thingamabob, and it's closed. So, one of the TSA officers showed up and told us they'd be open in 30 minutes. So I'm like, okay, well that's fine, we're just here a little early. We go through TSA after they open, and we're one of the first people there, and I bring up my suitcases, and I just read the signs as fast as I can. I start yanking all my stuff out of the suitcases, oh god, they have to inspect everything. Must take everything out of the suitcases. So I'm just I'm pretty sure I scared the people behind me, but I'm also freaking out too. I'm like, oh God, what if I don't take everything out that I'm supposed to take out of my suitcase? What if I miss something? What if I screw up? What if I do this? What if I... When I'm in a situation that I'm not used to and I've had no sleep, I tend to overreact and everything in front of me is just sensory overload. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, I'm yanking my slippers off, I'm throwing everything out of my carry-on suitcase into the little plastic bins, and the dude's like, nah bro, just put your electronics and any other metal stuff in the bins. You're fine. And then I asked, well, what about the bigger suitcase? I said, what about my bigger suitcase? I told him that I had my clothes and my first suit in it, and he said, just slide it on through the conveyor belt thing. It'll take care of the rest. And they liked my fursuit head too. Although it was probably creepy to see my fursuit head like in a clear plastic bag. I picked the clear plastic bag on purpose because if I used a black plastic bag or some kind of other opaque plastic bag, I don't want to raise any warning signs. You know, I don't want them to think, oh my God, there's something in there. It's not supposed to be in there. But yeah, I had nothing to hide. So we went through the scanners and thingamabobs and success. Got the green light, nothing went off. And yeah, so now we're in the waiting room area, waiting for our flight and group number to be called. I literally can't understand 75% of what's being said on the intercom because it's so hecking distorted and the person talking is like going a million miles an hour and it's more distorted than a bass boosted 64 kilobit MP3 file of Sandstorm. Basically, if farts could talk, I could barely understand what they were saying. But we did have a nice conversation with a few people sitting next to us, which definitely calmed my nerves a little bit. If there's one thing I'll say about airports, the people waiting to go to their planes are really, really nice. So, yeah. Now the next part is where I met some not so nice people. So our group number gets called, which Treble was luckily able to understand because I couldn't understand it at all. So we bring up our suitcases to the line, and I'm thinking, yeah, this should be a simple process. All of our bags have been examined and all that jazz, right? The dude starts yelling at us like right away for not checking our bags in, and I am the big stupid. I did not know you were supposed to literally check your bags in. I don't know. I was so tired and just, there was no one down there to help me. I went down there to get our bags checked in because I assumed that they just like check them in like they're going in a hotel, which is conveniently under the airplane. Why is it so confusing? Like, what am I supposed to do if there was no one downstairs to help us? I'm running on like 0 hours of sleep for like 48 hours. You're not being very helpful. You're just yelling at us. And I'm thinking, oh God, we're gonna get kicked off the plane and I'm gonna miss my trip. And then I'm gonna have to tell TTFC, I'm sorry, this one jerk, he started yelling at us and he wouldn't tell us what to do. But yeah, he started yelling at us and I said all these words in my head, but I didn't say anything to the dude because I didn't want to get in trouble, even though I was very tired and I was very confused. And Treble's being all apologetic and nice to the dude. And I'm just like being like this. I'm not saying a word. I'm so tired. There was no one downstairs to help us figure out where to go. And you have the audacity to yell at us. Wow. Somebody has a case of the Mondays. Okay. No more Savage Storming. Anyway, they put little red tags on our suitcases for some reason. Again, the dude was talking a million miles an hour. Didn't understand what he was saying. He said something about batteries to the kid behind me. He started yelling at them too. And I'm like, and then the parent starts talking back to the boarding agent. You yell at me and then you yell at a kid behind me. And like, I don't know. I was just so tired and fed up at that point. He was saying something about how you can't bring batteries on a plane. Why does the TSA website say you can bring batteries on the plane, but then the airport says you can't? And then they say, oh, batteries have to go in checked bags. No, they have to go on carrier. Which is it? Which is airport rules are like math because they're always changing. And maybe that's why I don't understand them because I'm bad at math. It's just, right, no more screaming. I don't think I've ever screamed this much in one video. Finally, after that silly debacle, we get on the plane. This is where things start to get a little better. My carry-on suitcase did not fit in the overhead bin, even though I measured it like 1,000 times per the airline's website. And even the little thing at the airport where you can measure your bags, it fit just fine. But when we got onto the airplane, what the heck? But One thing that calmed my nerves, my fursuit head had plenty of room underneath the seat in front of me. So that was good. The attendant helped me figure out what to do. All I had to do was take out like my fursuit brush and put it into my bag with my fursuit head, and then it fit in just fine. So I was so tired and nothing made sense. I was so disoriented. One thing that really fascinated me, airplanes are a lot smaller in real life. TV makes them look way bigger. That or everyone on TV can afford first class for some reason, which I think is kind of unrealistic. First class is super hecking expensive, but that's just me. Okay, so we're just sitting down and I'm putting my seatbelt on. I don't know how to put my seatbelt on. I am extremely embarrassed at this point. I thought it was like a regular like car seatbelt. No, it has like a different interlocking mechanism thingamabob, or maybe there's some magic going on that I don't understand how to control. So Treble helped me, and I just felt like the biggest dummy ding dong of all time. I was so sleep deprived I couldn't put my seatbelt on. Wow. I just didn't care at that point. I was in 120% potato mode. But here's where the fun part comes. This is the part that really excited me, was the takeoff sequence. It feels like a roller coaster taking off. It's like, hold on to your butts. Okay, now I start to feel a little disoriented because of the way the plane is like doing this and that. And I didn't really scream when the plane took off. I was like internally screaming when the plane took off. I was excited, but I was also like really scared at the same time. I didn't say a word when it happened. I just like pretended I was on the rock and roller coaster at Disney World, because that's what it kind of felt like at the beginning for like a few seconds. Now, while I was starting to calm down a little bit, Treble, however, kind of traded spots with me, because there was a kid behind her that kept crying and pulling on her hair. I already have a headache at this point from not sleeping, and I just put my earphones on and I'm just playing on my phone. I didn't even know the kid was like yelling and screaming until I took my earphones off. And then I started to feel bad for Treble, and I snuggled with her, so We make it to our layover in Dallas, and the airport is hecking ginormous. It is massive. The employees here are a lot nicer and way more helpful, but it's also like super busy, so everybody's got a place to go. There's like lots of people walking left and right and left and right. So we have to take this monorail thing that goes like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I have no balance at this point. I just feel so out of it. I feel disconnected from reality, so I'm holding onto the pole, and as soon as it takes off, I'm like, oh god! I almost fell over. But yeah, get to our little terminal area, and I'm able to actually understand what the boarding agent or employee or whatever is saying this time. I can clearly hear my group number, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get lost and confused. And then we actually met our guest of honor, Citronelle, which calmed my nerves even more because Citri has experience with flying, and I didn't feel so scared and lost anymore, so I just followed Citri everywhere. So yeah. We get on our second plane, and it's a lot quieter, it's way more pleasant, it's a lot fancier, and just all things good. I finally get a look out the window, and it's like looking at Google Earth in real life. Super duper high resolution, which is so surreal. I have never experienced anything like that before. After we got to the hotel and we're like calmed down and relaxed a bit, Treble was talking about how we're jet lagged, and I'm like, we're not jet lagged. We didn't cross time zones. And apparently I was right, because that's what jet lag means. I know a few things for a flight newbie now, don't I? But yeah, I did feel a little disoriented regardless because of the pressure changes, the super dry air, and being crammed alongside with lots of other people. I'm just not used to that. That was my first time flying. It could have been better, it could have been worse. I blame a lot of the problems that went wrong on myself, but that boarding agent at our first airport could have been a little nicer. I tried my absolute hardest to remember all the rules and everything we're supposed to do, and I still screwed up here and there. Bleh. But next time I go flying, maybe I'll do a little better job next time. I mean, it wasn't all bad. It was actually really fun, especially when we're on the plane itself looking out the window, and when the plane would take off. That was really fun. And some of the people we met at the airport that were waiting to get on their flights were really, really nice. So shout out to those 2 people we talked to. Y'all calmed me down a lot. I'll probably fly again eventually. Who knows which con I'll go to next? Maybe BLFC or Vernal Equinox. I don't know. But yeah, if y'all think I should do more StormiTime videos like this where I talk about little adventures I've had in my life, let me know in the comments. And if y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and share it with your other furry friendos. And if I overreacted, please let me know. I tried my best to stay calm, but like when that boarding agent started yelling at us and I had no sleep, I just wanted to go home after that because I thought we were in trouble. I thought we weren't going to be able to get on the plane. I thought like a lot of bad things, and I just want to get in my car and throw my things in there and not have to worry about a million bajillion rules and just drive to the convention. So, but it's not practical to drive all the way to Australia. We can't do that yet. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.